Guys,
Thank
it's 6:03. Let's call the meeting to order.
Would you like something?
Emily, take roll, please.
Hector Abad,
Present.
Eileen Garcia.
Present.
Present. Kevin Menendez Mackey,
Present.
Maria Pineda,
Present.
Jessica Mendoza,
Present.
Claudia Luz, and Marie Picasso.
Well, it said it was, I'm trying to make the late, what exactly?
We have one.
We have, all right, guys, so order of business, any deferrals, additions, or deletions?
Deletions of the principal's report.
So number six, we're gonna be deleting, we don't have the principals here today. Anything else? Okay, so moving on, public comments. You want any public comments or?
Hi, my name is Tabitha Pizzino. For those of you who don't know me, I'm the Chief Intergovernmental Affairs Officer for Miami-Dade Schools. This is my colleague, Doug Clark, and we just wanted to come to the meeting this evening. Martha Montaner previously had been our liaison to this group. She retired. Miss Alette Diaz, who is taking her place, was unavailable this evening, but we wanted to come and say hello and tell you that we will continue to send staff support.
Thank you.
Any other public comments? Here we know we're moving on staff updates. Do you have any updates on anything? Or that is not on the agenda. I think we're pretty much covered.
If anything, yeah.
All right, so student member updates, I know he's not here. So I'm sure if he comes in, they do want to add something to it, but remember there's a subcommittee meeting on October 3rd at 4:30 p.m. And what we're gonna be requesting is, and actually great that your guys are here. I also, could you please email, actually Miss Diaz, I guess would be that person.
Yeah, I have her contact.
Right. So to see if we can get our schools to send at least two of their student leaders to that meeting. I mean, if they want to send the whole team, that's fine, but at least two other.
That's like lagging. A little something.
You send an email now?
Yeah, I'm gonna send out, sorry.
Oh, that's
I think-
awesome. Well,
Yeah,
so-
I'm sending anyone on, I'll copy you.
So I'm assuming that Maurice would want to add something else to it. I mean, I don't know much more. So we'll wait for him to get.
We'll table it for now and then wait for.
But just make sure that email goes out, because I know it's in October and basically a month away. So old business, alternate town seal submissions, we know that we had the submission, did we vote on it already? I
There
wasn't
was only one submission.
on a submission, but
Was
I'm
there
a-
one or two?
you only.
You only presented
one to us.
me twice,
Okay, I'll double check.
and we didn't vote on it because there was
Which
only
one's
one
one?
submission. This is the ultimate seal for the manatee.
As a matter of,
I'll double check.
oh, you know what?
Oh, yeah.
I know where the mistake happened. And we'll correct it.
Wait, did
No, no,
we
no.
see this seal, the June 26th meeting? Because I was here and I didn't see the
There
seal.
was an email.
That was
Sent it on your-
With an email?
Yeah.
What was the email sent?
Well,
So before this meeting,
mhm.
like the June meeting?
On advance.
Oh,
I'm just gonna double check that they found second. I don't know why.
Remind me at the end to do. The minutes, we skipped the minutes.
June 13th.
Hmm.
Yeah. it's good.
So we saw one or we have more than one?
have to, I'll go back and double check. And that's just me thinking there's two, but I honestly don't.
Yeah, I mean.
I know that, I like to believe that anything that was sent, I shared with you guys, but I'm just gonna double check.
All the product, I kept hearing one, and I think we agree that that will be the one, right, that we're gonna submit to the town. Do we need to do anything, or you just submit it to?
No, I have it,
Yeah. we're
and
fine.
so I just have to confirm with the communications team as to where exactly we're gonna be displaying, because I know we said if they were gonna submit it digital, then it's gonna be in a digital format. We weren't gonna spend any dollars on recreating anything.
Okay.
So I'll just let you guys know where exactly it's gonna be displayed.
From
So
an
it's gonna be in
email.
November anyways? If there's a second submission, just let us know and.
Chair, if I may, yeah, we had talked about the Claricel was not Claricel, Claudia was gonna find out if my analytics tech could do the printing, remember? Right, because we do have the digital printer.
What part is that here?
All the emails that you sent.
I can
Somebody
resend
can
it.
send it to me because I have an 8-2 or 7-2 or 7-2, 5-18.
All right, so moving on to 9B, annual awards of excellence, final expenses. So I'm assuming these are the last numbers, right? That's it. You should not be expecting any
As
other.
of right now, because you guys haven't had anything in the last 2 months, I don't
But-
think you've had
Right,
anything.
no, that's it.
Yeah,
Just the
so
event.
no, everything's already posted, reconciled.
So total expense for the event was $4,292.96.
I mean, open, so I can do it. So which page, I'm sorry?
I'm looking at the very last page. What's the one all the time?
This is the detail for anything that's been posted under event. So no, that's not
necessarily
necessarily,
that.
just anything that would have hit your event account line item for this fiscal year. Which started October last year to now in September.
Really quick, what is the 2023 award by Danny Mendes Espino?
Those are the awards.
No, the awards are Vita.
That's a videographer.
Okay.
um,
So I,
And the AC graphics was the,
Printing for the programs,
That's
which the
Pico?
first year we didn't pay.
right, I
This year we
remember.
actually have.
Pico.
I even sent a message and nothing.
Yeah, but remember, it was about,
Yeah, because last year it was paid.
And it was.
There was a cost to it. It's just the town
Right,
donated,
right.
so what, it didn't hit your budget line item last
Right,
year.
right.
but looking at this. But the account detail, everything seems to be tied to it. We only have one event.
I believe so. I would have to go back to double check, but I think, I don't remember you guys having anything else. I think the last one you guys had was a candidate form, and I believe that was already last fiscal.
Yeah,
year.
that was,
Wasn't it? Yeah,
and the Facebook is all the boosts, is that what it was?
the only one that, if you look at the dates,
yeah, they all seem to align with.
the only one that doesn't seem to align is the 12/05/22. Which for
I'll double check. with
4373, that might have been for the when was the candidate?
No, I think it was
No.
November.
No,
So that was-
that was.
That may have been when
No,
we
the candidates
started.
were in August.
I could be wrong. I have to go back and double check, but I know we started
That was,
promoting the nominations pretty early on. I don't know if it was as soon as.
We have
As
to
early
stick
as
with that one,
December?
because that's the only one that doesn't.
Yeah, December, right?
And it's
So remember,
2022.
remember
That
we
was
did
Facebook.
try to advertise the scholarship.
So
with
we
three
installed-
in December
The scholarship. Yeah.
of 2022?
Yeah.
Right.
Or.
Yes, you guys did 50. You're right. You did 3 amounts of 50 for a total 150 for 3 different initiatives you guys had.
It was-
One was a scholarship, one
The
was
banners, No.
student-
one was the scholarships, one was for the awards of excellence, and I have to double check what the other one was for. But it was a total of 150.
Mhm.
I think we advertised.
No,
that.
right.
So
I'll go back and double check what this.
So through the chair, basically, the budget for that event should be about $5,000 a year, just to, give or take.
Right.
I mean, if it keeps growing. I mean, this year was significantly larger event than the
Right,
prior
and we didn't
year.
have. Some of the categories didn't have.
Right, so
So yeah, we're 40.
We should-
It's not
Find out.
gonna be like that.
I think 5,000 is a couple of them there. We could-
so did we receive
Because everything goes up.
all the check? Remember you said there were some that submitted their.
The sponsor dollars,
Correct.
the only one that we're missing is
Smart.
Energy Mendes University, and we've been following up with them, so. It sounds like they are paying it.
But I think there was also a change in personnel, whoever was handling it, there's a new person there
Okay,
who took over, but I can reach out to them.
yeah, if you have any
Cause
contact,
I
there,
did, you did, now we
Okay.
see another name, so now we gotta go
Okay.
back again.
I did
Sorry.
call, I
Yeah,
did
that's
call a
something-
contact we have last week,
Mhm.
towards the end of last
You
week, and she told me that she would. follow up on it for us.
And it was the Emily, right?
Yeah,
Okay, I think she's
Yeah.
the new one.
yeah, she's
think
the
she
one that
is.
had contact for at least the last 3 months.
Really?
Yeah, I know there was somebody else, but I hadn't had contact with that person for this specific event. Yeah. So that's the only thing, and that was $200. That's the only thing, everything else has come in for, in terms of money received.
But that's represented in the report.
Yes.
Okay.
So you'll see that under event, if you follow it from left to right, 1,000 is what you guys were initially given for your budget, and then there's been a total of $4,477 that has been added to that line item. From donations, sponsorships. Any carryover funds, that's where that 4,000, that's what the 4,477.
Like every year reports with the 977 that they're at the bottom.
No, they're not that. This just breaks it out differently, but the 4,477 is everything that was added to your line item. That wasn't the original budget. So if you do the math of the sponsorships received, the 3,500 plus the 977, that's how you get to 4,477.
We have about $200 left over for next year, gonna carry on.
This is what you guys have left from all dollars received, right? Like, so we're not talking about the energy and this $200. You have a total of available budget of 39,586. That's because your AP language and your STEM has not been paid out.
Right.
And even then, I think you would still have some dollars left, depending on what those
It
amounts
won't
are.
be significant, but it should be around $200.
Mhm.
If we just look at that category, that should be.
Oh. We get our new budget. So no,
October
Right,
1st.
but remember,
we're not doing anything.
we requested the money. How likely is that they're gonna approve it?
Well, they usually approve the
They usually give
usual,
you the
The
$1,000, yeah, we need
the
five.
usual, so.
So we need five, so we're gonna be depending heavily on sponsorship again. And that was the whole point, you know, but again, that's the council's decision. Right, so we reconcile that account, we're in the black, no major concerns in that.
No.
We need to start thinking about a date for next year, maybe at the next meeting, we can bring up
Mhm.
proposed dates. So moving on to 9C. And we're moving on because we're really not voting on anything else.
Mm.
So the digital school flyer project. So I did speak personally to Ms. Rodriguez Diaz last week on it. She is very nice, by the way, she's very friendly. And she was gonna look into it. She told me she was gonna try to reach out to the schools and gather the data we needed. I know she's been communicating with you all. So hopefully we can get that up and going. So any questions, any concerns about that project?
That one is like the booklet, right?
We're gonna do
But
it
with
digital.
digital, right?
And the town's gonna be the ones putting it together.
Right, we're gonna put it together, right?
I believe so, but yeah, we need the information.
Right,
Yeah, but we can have somebody put it together unless there's any specifics.
Right, because it was just us. allowing
I know you guys
like,
said no
collaborate. It wasn't-
dollars in terms of.
We are not the ones that proposed the idea of this, so.
right, but ultimately, you know, we don't have money in the budget.
No, that's fine. Yeah,
So
if it's
there's a
just putting
school-
together a digital flyer, we can do that.
Right.
As long as obviously we have.
So again, I mean, we could always go back to the two high schools that have that. Well, all three high schools should have some technology. If they wanted to work on it, but I don't think we ever agreed on that, right?
No, we never agreed on any of the high schools taking over the,
Refresh my memory, isn't this what the mayor had
Mayor
brought
brought
to
up,
us, so
Right,
he just wanted us to agree and corroborate with him
correct.
on it. So therefore, it's his project and it's his baby to create within his town, correct? And then we are just going to, I guess.
Well, I think what he brought up is, what he, no, I think what he brought up was either we're interested.
I know, so it was, I don't even know what was brought up, because we're not the ones creating it.
So
So-
what he wanted us, for us to see if we were interested in doing something to Palmetto Bay, whatever Palmetto Bay is doing.
Right, I remember the
Yeah.
booklet, yes,
That They have the booklet, I don't know where they got their
Right.
funding from,
right,
we definitely did not have the funding.
Right.
It's not gonna come from the mayor's office, it has to be digital, then that's.
You're right, that's what I mean,
Right,
that
right,
since it's digital and it was his idea, it was his project,
right,
then. I don't know why, I mean, there's no discussion, obviously the town has to do it.
right, okay.
I
We're
never
good on
thought
that.
we were gonna do
Listen.
anything or pay for anything.
No, we were not, but at one point we did discuss about maybe the schools, since they have their own program,
Oh,
like Goldman's a digital marketing, I know.
but I know they wanna have this pulled out, because the problem is that these kids already have their curriculum. And now Miami-Dade County Public Schools, you can't secure away from what's on Schoology. You know that, right? Now we can't do anything that's not through Schoology approved.
And the clubs.
I don't know about that. I don't know if the clubs have already started, because this is our first.
That's not
week,
really
so I
into
don't
the
know.
debate, I'll offer to do it anyway.
Okay.
So then the budget expenses, guys, so we have, and the only reason this is coming up, because obviously the council questioned when we presented the budget. They questioned all of our categories, the council said that we had the biggest budget, right, of all the committees, and so we requested certain information about the vocabulary class, the Miami Lakes Library, the Dolly Parton Library. Those are the three major expenses. So as far as the vocabulary class, we know that you requested a letter. I know the letter's coming. And actually, I think it's gonna come in Diaz Rodriguez, or Rodriguez Diaz is working on that too. On trying to get those letters. So we need the DF letters, right? I guess that's what they. we call
It's
it
really a letter, I mean, I don't know what it's called, but it's just a letter detailing out what those funds are being used for and some data on that. Which, again, historically had been done and we just hadn't.
So just to give you a little feedback, so we provide funding for a supplement
Mhm.
to the two K-8s in the middle school for vocabulary classes. Right? But we need that letter, basically saying this was gonna be useful, so we can send out the funds. And we need to do it before September 30th, right? Because. Right,
That one.
we have to submit, we need a letter before September.
We do
30th.
because if now you can't use this year's
Exactly, the
funds
funds will be
until,
basically,
yeah,
basically,
so.
I'm sure the
the
president won't be
next-
happy about that. But I was looking at it, with the request data. And I think you all got a copy, right, about, at the last meeting, we have requested data from the principals. About how they were using that money, we wanted to see numbers.
Right, but we haven't seen anything. When,
Did you not get an email, or I said you only want that email?
I believe that's something you know. I think we managed to do it.
you guys see that? email? I pulled up everything from aisle and I don't know.
Jurassic,
I don't have that. I will show you everything I have from.
Yeah, she's on it.
Which one is it exactly? So I can resend it.
It's on the vocabulary classes like K-8s in middle school. That's the,
Oh, yeah, EAB vocabulary and the 17th, she said, it. yeah,
Right.
yeah. Yes, I got that one, 17.
So I sat down and I did a little bit of,
Oh, no, I don't have any information. That was just me asking a question about it.
so for instance,
I
on
don't know, I
Bob
don't
Grant,
have
there's
the
only
information.
21 students that benefit from.
so going back to, so the council
Yes,
requested.
please send it.
Yeah, I can resend.
The council requested that we try to come up with some sort of data. I know Councilwoman Ruano was really, I know this is her baby, so, but she wanted the data. So I'm just gonna go over what I saw when I looked at the numbers. So Bob Graham has 21 students in the class. Out of the 21, I don't understand it because they were anywhere from levels 1 to level 5. I don't know how we're mixing all these kids in one class. Because obviously level 5 works at a faster pace than a level 1. But 7 increase, 4 decrease at least one level. So only 7 of the 21 kids actually increased. That's 33%. You know what I'm saying? If I look above Miami Lakes K, they had 20 students, 12 increased, 1 decrease, and again, they had anywhere from levels 2 to 5. Okay, that means the 12 out of the 20 increase at least one level, and 60% of the kids showed improvement. Miami Lakes, it's, I don't know what
I
think they said every period as a whole, 153. There's 153 students, 49, if I'm not mistaken, went down at least one level, that's 32.
What
So
levels are these that you're speaking? I don't have anything in front of
They're
me. so I
doing, no,
don't-
this is my printed data,
What-
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I don't.
I
have
just
it.
printed what I sent.
Wait. So what level, do they test them when they get in?
So PM1, PM3, that's how the 2
Okay,
PMs
so
did.
they're testing through there.
Right. So it seems that some went down significantly, I mean, correct, 50 points, 40 some points, 46
Wait.
points.
They're basing this on the fast test? Is that what they're basing it on? Because that's not, Shouldn't they
They're
be
doing
test-
progress monitoring, right? So if
What
that,
assessment tool is it?
why don't they test their
That's
vocabulary? if it's a
PM1,
vocabulary
PM3,
course?
ELA resorts.
Why don't they have a test for that, like, you know how science has a test, why don't
Okay,
they
so-
test vocabulary?
I'm sorry, so you're looking at PM1 results?
Comparing to PM3, that's
Yeah.
what it's
Okay,
based on.
so this is the new fast
Mhm.
progress monitoring. So the expectation is that the results of the PM1, you're gonna expect to have a few high flyers, but you're gonna expect them to be lower, so. Because it is measuring, like, we're in PM1 window right now.
Right,
So let's say you have, let's say grade 4. So the assessment that they're gonna take now is PM1 is going to assess their knowledge and acumen for all of the material that you would be expected to know in grade 4. So then PM2, you're gonna see the gain. By the time they get to PM3, you should see that they have mastered
right.
that material.
So,
So if you can't really compare PM3 from the year before to PM1 because they're measuring different
absolutely,
things.
absolutely. So these are middle school kids,
Mhm.
right? And it's a vocabulary class, remember, it's
Right.
only a supplement,
Right,
okay? So my understanding, if I, through the years, is that the kids who are coming are kids who are gonna be doing AP classes in high school, and we're just trying to accelerate these kids,
right.
try to push them. Now, again, looking at the range, there's kids from level 1 to level 5. I could see 4 and 5s maybe taking AP classes. I don't see many kids level 1 taking AP classes or level 2s, right?
Not,
I
not
could be-
level, not level ones, but,
Right, I could be wrong, but. So, but even then,
and even then, it depends, because there's a marked difference between
sure,
mathematics.
no, this is,
and-
remember, it's
yeah,
all
and
vocabulary.
yes.
So it must be language charts,
Yeah.
and it's all based on the ELA results.
Okay, I don't agree with using the PM, I teach, I teach at Bob Graham
There
Education
you go.
Center, yes. He's a social, social,
Right.
yes, so we're both in the system as well. I don't agree with using that, because that is not what we used years back when we were assessing the vocabulary course. Vocabulary course was used in an SAT type of testing, which is more in line with what they're teaching in the vocabulary elective course. The PM is not the test to test for that vocabulary course. We cannot compare,
So
we
what
can't
would-
use that test
What
for
would
it.
you suggest we
That,
get
that
a,
test is not for that.
what would you suggest we get a?
I think it should be either a SAT pretest. Maybe give it to them at the beginning of the year. They use the vocabulary that's supposed to be taught in this course, and then give them maybe a mid-year test, and then give them an end of the year test and see how they do, because obviously all these kids are not gonna go and take the PSAT. They're not gonna go out there and take it.
Are they
Um,
taking these tests now?
Hmm?
Or would we have to provide those tests?
No, the teacher should provide the test.
Yeah.
The teacher should
Is
provide
there
the
an
test.
assessment tool that just focuses on vocabulary? And we can have a baseline and
They can use the SAT, the reading part of the SAT. That's where it's supposed to be focused years
because the
ago.
CLA is encompassing a lot of different
Exactly, it's not,
grammar and
right, it's not
vocabulary.
the vocabulary, what they were supposed to be teaching is SAT level vocabulary, like for the AP courses.
Right,
So this does not,
it's not a true test.
no. I'm even shocked that you guys were, that's why I never received.
That-
It wasn't the PM, no, I never received it, so I never got to see that that's what they were comparing the
don't
results
receive
in.
it.
I did not receive it. I'm saying I did not receive it, so I didn't know we were talking. So now when you're saying PM,
Alright.
I don't think that that's a proper tool to use for the vocabulary elective course.
So we can address it with the principal. At the end of the day, like I said, all we're trying to do is get the number.
But that's
right?
not, but that's not accurate. That's just like
But-
testing somebody for
I-
alcohol, giving warrant. No.
But we said, you were here that, you were
Yes,
here.
I was here that day.
So
yes.
you know what we requested, that's what the principal.
Right, no.
Reported, I mean, it's,
No,
whatever they're using or not using,
no. So then I think we need to send the principals an email stating that we want something that's gonna show the vocabulary, SAT vocabulary growth. They want this course for SAT and their AP courses when they move on to high school. Then I wanna see something that's gonna test that. I don't want
send
a
them
fast
an
test.
email. Aya.
Is there data that's
I
more
already
specific
knew,
to the
no,
progress
already
monitoring?
knew.
Okay. Is
What
it
happened?
broken down by segments? Do we have a vocabulary section within the FAST assessment?
I
It's-
know nothing about that.
That's all it is.
I haven't seen middle
No.
school fast test, but I don't think.
Apparently
no.
not. So-
Because then.
I don't
more
think
just-
it's a- I don't think it's a
you could
good-
See just the vocabulary section of each.
And especially there, he's just getting their full score. It's not like it's being divided.
Right.
No, I don't know. I
And
don't agree.
I can only go by
I don't.
what they submit, we made a.
Then we
request.
tell them this is not the proper submission for the vocabulary course. No. I just, it's not, you can't compare what they learned in vocabulary elective to the past test.
So.
There's no way.
We'll invite the principals to next month's meeting. And we'll discuss it with them. I'll send you the email to invite them.
No, that I can do.
Okay.
What I need is if you are requesting further detailed information.
I don't think they have it, now they would have.
They probably haven't given a pre-test. or anything like
spoke
that.
to
So we're
them
not asking
July
for anything.
8th, and this
Because
came
they,
out for-
but you know what? The year just started. This is the first week. They still have time because obviously we have a window. They have a window. They can still give a pre-test right now.
Right.
So we can't wait till the next meeting next month. I'd like for something to be done in the
At the end of the
interim.
day,
So when they come, sorry, so when they do come next month, we have something. That's a pre-test. Now this year, we're gonna have to wait until we see their final post-test to see the growth that they've actually had in the vocabulary course. Not that. That doesn't test that.
our bottom line is this money being utilized in basis?
I know it's a course. It's an elective.
The
It
elective.
doesn't pay for the full course.
No, it's just, so.
It's just a
It's being
supplement,
used
exactly.
for the greater capability of what it can be used for. It is serving just a few kids or they're serving just a handful of kids also. So
Maybe
those,
they can increase the class size. Class size doesn't have to be 20 children.
Not for an elective, but then again, I
It can be
understand.
more.
Is there any other data that's available, like qualitative, or anecdotal data? What are the students saying? What are the teachers saying, the principals?
So I
Do they feel it's beneficial? I mean,
No, the principals are always gonna tell you it is, they don't want the someone, that, you know,
Sure.
it's just But ultimately, like I said, we sat here, all the principals sat here. Intergovernmental was here,
and we
the
spoke to
region
the-
was here, you know, and we said, this is what we're looking for, it was discussed.
We didn't ask for that test.
No,
We asked
so
for
because
something
that's
to
what we-
measure, right, to
that's what we
measure
got.
the, and obviously they don't have anything to measure it right now. Because before, in the past, they used to take the PSAT at the end of the year.
But shouldn't
I
that
don't
be
know
a
if they've done
concern? We've been supplementing this courses for a while
Yes,
now.
but have we been checking up? Have we been asking for anything? No, we have not. We have not been following up year after year, every May. Show us what you've got, show us what the
But
kids have improved on.
shouldn't the schools, shouldn't them have that information?
Not if you don't ask for it.
Them as
The teacher's giving her tests, they do the fastest, that's about it. Now, if we
Right,
want
but-
something
but these
specific for that
teachers-
course, then we should ask for something specific for that course.
But these teachers are teaching this one class,
Right.
vocabulary class,
Yes.
don't they have a way to measure?
I'm sure they
progress
use
of the kids?
tests.
So
Of
some
course
kind of
they do it.
formative
They-
They
yeah.
have to have some way to assess.
Yeah.
So when you have to ask that, you have to ask that because there's no way that you're gonna get scores from last year because those are tests. Those aren't fast tests that are in the system. Those are tests that the teacher gives in her classroom. You know, you're in the system. We give it in the classroom. Once the year starts, all those papers get thrown away. The grade book gets wiped and it's start again. Yeah, you can see what grade the kid got, but that doesn't give you the assessment. That's just the entire
And-
quarter, the entire year.
And you do not think that this particular kids, it should impact these assessments?
But that's not all vocabulary. That's not just on the vocabulary.
The assessment includes math and science.
Well, this one
tell
includes
like this,
reading and grammar and other things as well.
you said these are honors kids, the majority of these kids are.
My understanding is that's what it's always
Supposed to.
It's not like it,
Yeah.
Okay.
but
but like.
I mean, it's
again,
alarming that the
they
scores, they're not great.
If I look at left, again, now, this is Bob Grant, right? Out of the 21 kids, there's 6 level 5s, 5 level 4s, 5 level 3s, 4 level 2, you know what I'm saying? It's like
One level
1 level 1. So you're putting level 1 kids with level 5 kids. That doesn't seem to be adding up. You get what I'm saying?
I don't even know what you're saying.
Levels,
Really?
you know, levels.
No, it's an elective.
So listen, if you're level 1,
And if it's an elective,
you
I don't
should have
think
gone to
you can tell a
FPSS.
child, oh, you're a low scorer. I can't, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know. I don't
But as
do
a
class.
teacher, if you have a level
in
1
the-
student, let's go back to elementary, and I know that you guys are not gonna understand some of the, okay?
That's okay.
If you're level 1. More than 2
Level
weeks
1
semester,
PM on that
Sure,
test. You're
sure,
talking about
let's
that
say-
level test.
let's say
No, but I have an
you're-
ESOL
you're-
kid this
you're
year. So I'm
going
on
to
level 1
FPSS.
for me.
You're gonna go through the FPSS process, you're gonna do the RTI, we're gonna do the interventions. You see what I'm saying?
Mhm.
This kid may be
Is
really
that level
disabled
one at
for
the
all I
beginning
know.
or at the end of the year?
That's a baseline.
That's
What
the
was that?
baseline, at the
That was the
beginning.
beginning of the year?
So how could I?
Okay, so
score
then what was
level
his score
one
at the
with
end of the
level
year? What was his score?
five? That's not one kid that actually made progress. That's
Okay,
one
so
kid that actually
He was
made
level
progress.
one in the beginning.
He
What was he in the middle?
He actually did well.
There's no middle.
Where is it?
That's the one
Oh,
Oh,
kid
so
that.
they didn't give you the.
Student 17. Student
That's the
17.
one kid that made
17,
the progress.
1 and 3.
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously the
Yeah, he
kid
should-
did well in the group.
I would argue that those are the kids that went down in the class, not the level fives.
But then you have student 15 that went from a 4 to a 5.
But
Not
first,
from not that
student
one.
17, we don't know until that child's already in the class and maybe, when is our PM? Do you remember the date when the PM is gonna be over this?
I don't remember when they're.
But I know we have until maybe middle of September,
Yeah.
maybe, or the end. So we don't get this score until like middle or end of September, that one. She can start interventions if they scored that one, but this kid might have had the good grades, might have had A's and B's. This does not count because she's looking, this kid got A's and B's, but they scored a 1 here. I mean, you know the grades.
He's at level one.
Yes. What if they had a bad day and they didn't score well on their first PM test?
Everything. All right, we'll create an email. Listen, I deal with level ones into that is what I do. But okay, it's
I
all
do
good.
too, and sometimes a kid is alarmingly smart and they know what they're doing, and all of a sudden you get the score back. What did you do? Like, what is this score? This doesn't align with your grades. This doesn't
So
align with what.
I
you're
am
showing
okay with
class.
saying that this data may not be fully reflective of what we.
I don't like that data, no.
But I still have an issue with levels one and five.
You have an issue with the vocabulary class, period.
No, well,
So
no,
that's it.
I know, I know, I.
Period.
My issue is not the vocabulary class. It's that 80% of our budget is going to
So then,
benefit 90 kids.
so then they need to up their number of kids. We need to give them a certain amount of kids that they need to have in that class.
I said
Instead of
this,
20, then you need to have more in that classroom. You can't just
how many can
have
you
20
put,
kids.
how many can you
Because I
put
have
to say?
23 second graders that are so 1s and 2s. If I can handle that, they can handle a middle school 8th grade class with about 30 kids in there for an elective. So maybe we need to set parameters for these electives.
So. So you're saying, let's say we put, right now we have 60 kids, let's say. But we're spending $30,000, we're spending what? How much are we spending per
I don't
kid?
know.
You know what I'm saying? It's like,
You're the chair. Which one is that? I didn't even know.
I don't know, to me, it's just,
How many
so it's not that I'm opposed to, it, I just think that the math.
You have been.
I've always, since day one,
Since day one.
absolutely, we're not benefiting the kids and they're actually.
It's an elective, it's gonna benefit. There's other things here. We do events. How many kids does that benefit? Sometimes it benefits 20 or 30 kids, sometimes it benefits 15. I mean,
But I
we
think
don't
it-
benefit 100
I
200
think
kids
it
at a
benefits,
time.
but I think we need to look at maximizing our
Right.
budget, that's all. I mean, I don't think anyone disputes that it definitely benefits some kids.
But wouldn't a different elective also be beneficial, let's say,
We do, we pay for the STEM as well.
say for STEM, or we, I'm just saying we've had this for years, changing the elective, I'm not saying we're changing something, we'll change the elective to maybe something else.
What do you
I think it's worth
suggest?
discussing.
Financial literacy,
Tools,
financial literacy,
wood shop?
I mean, which are be great. Home ec would
Nobody
be
does
up.
anything with wooden.
But it still be one supplement.
It would be.
So-
It will still be,
So it's
no,
only
you
thirty
can't-
kids.
no matter what you assign it to, someone's assigned to a supplement, it can only benefit a certain amount of kids. We're not
Exactly,
paying for a teacher who's gonna teach the whole day, we're paying for a supplement.
exactly. So
And that's what has always been my issue.
No matter
It's
what
always
you
one
do.
lot.
it's still going to benefit a small amount of children because we don't have the funds to fund a bunch of classrooms and a bunch of teachers to teach 100 kids.
But when you get the council stating that we have the most bloated, not bloated budget, but we spent the most, whatever.
Okay,
Where do we, what else do we do?
we are the education advisory board.
Well, okay.
That's
and
our
what-
budget.
if it-
We need to educate the children in the town, so therefore, that's why our budget is what
And
it
get
is.
it clear that that's not our
And I like
job,
to
it's the
see-
school board's job to educate the children. Our town. All right, so we'll come up with an email, we'll work on that. So you got the data, that's what we requested. I'll reach out and maybe we'll have the principals next month explain.
I don't know if this question's been posed before, but these vocabulary, they're electives.
All right,
Yes,
What are they doing differently that they're not tackling in the ELA class? That's what, I think it's just an important
SAT
question.
vocabulary. that
But
they're
they're
not
not-
doing in the ELA, no,
But
the
they don't cover
ELA
vocabulary in
curriculum.
the ELA classes?
No, because their curriculum is different. Remember, we gotta follow a pacing guide.
Right,
So it has to come from the textbooks. Those textbooks don't have supposedly.
those textbooks are not
The
tied to the
SAT.
SAT, to the Scholastic Aptitude Test?
Right, I don't teach middle school, but supposedly not, and they didn't teach those specific words, that's why they had that, oh my gosh, what is it, that grant that they. I believe it was a teacher, she did flow vocabulary skills or something like that.
Yeah, no, it rings a
To,
bell.
right, to enhance vocabulary as well, so that was something else that was gonna be done. But then I don't think that one's gonna be able to be used because it's not part of the Schoology curriculum now, because everything has to go
Okay.
through Schoology curriculum. So they even had to go into this vocabulary class and modify it because it had to go through Schoology. And there had to be some sort of curriculum that was gonna be approved through Schoology to use in the classroom. So it's not as easy as it was before.
Well,
this year.
I think that's alarming, that only 20 kids at these big high, K through 8, is a K through 8, are getting exposed and the rest of the kids are not.
But look at the
What
difference
about
of Miami
modifying
Lakes.
the curriculum?
Look at Miami Lakes Middle, look how they do it. They do it completely different than the K in Bombay.
How do they do it?
From the data, they have every single student on there.
Yeah, I guess they do it in the class.
Look,
But
but
again,
show her
that-
Oh, because she does it differently. Look at
I
the
didn't see
minutes.
that one.
She does it differently. She separates them. Hold on, where's the minutes?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It's supposed to everybody.
Because they are, hold on, where, somebody find her. Find her. No. No, it's not. I mean, I know she said it.
Not you know.
She said it because I remember she explained how her vocabulary course was.
He included into all the curriculum. Your teacher.
So as well as incorporates the vocabulary component in each of the 8 class.
Where did they it?
She. It's just right after
Okay,
that.
yes, it's down here, okay. Vocabulary going each of the 8 classes as a teacher who is awarded the supplements teaches. Cause that, okay, so whatever courses that teacher that's getting the supplement, she teaches it to all her classes, that vocabulary section. I mean, that's an idea as well.
That's a great idea.
So that's why I said we need to set some sort of parameters to these teachers that are teaching it that we will agree on and they agree on, plus a pre and post test that test the vocabulary part.
That's 150.
That we are
students.
To
funding.
me, that's reasonable. That's,
So-
you're affecting the department, majority of the kids,
It's amazing.
So that's
not
something.
20 kids.
But again, we're addressing this the first week of school. We're not gonna see them until next month. It's gonna be very difficult for them to change it this year.
But even if you do a pre-test in September,
No,
They
no, the
still
pre
give-
is gonna be fine, yes, but
that
I'm
that
talking
still
about,
gives you 6-7 months.
but I'm talking about the middle schools. Like bringing up the idea of them maybe putting it into every course that that teacher teaches. What I'm saying is it's gonna be difficult for them to all of a sudden now change it.
But
I don't know.
why the difference between one school and the other two?
Because they're spreading it between all her classes. This is an elective here just for that one group of students because the other ones are just getting taught their ELA from the teacher. Or whatever, I don't know what teacher they have.
But if one school can expose all the kids to the vocabulary, why can't the
The other
other?
schools.
So then that's why I'm saying we can address it and say, why can't you guys do it this way? Maybe they can explain why they can't do it that way.
Did the principal explain how she structures that? She's
Well-
paying her a supplement and then.
Right, that one
using-
teacher, she's paying, it's a, go ahead.
I'm just
Mhm.
noting that the one that does it incorporates it across 8 classes is a middle school.
Right.
The other 2 are K-8 configurations.
Mhm.
So the structure of the day and the classes are fundamentally different in a middle school than in K-8. That might drive,
So
Yeah, it might flow easier with one teacher. than the other.
So the K-8s are in the middle.
They don't have the 8 period.
We have, no, we don't have it. They have a different, they have an AB block, like 8 days, 3 classes this day, 3 classes this day.
That's blocked, that's 6 periods.
Right,
Middle school.
right, but she has 8, you were saying here,
Right,
so
but-
she obviously
right.
has more kids because of the 8. Their class size might be bigger as well, I don't know their class size. I don't know, you have to talk to them.
150 divided by 8 is less than 20.
So it's a block, it's only going to be taught 3 days a week, not every day. And
it's
it's
wild.
not as many
It's wild.
periods.
Not a block, it's 2
Again,
hours.
you need to bring it up with the principals and find out how they can.
Kevin, Mr. Principal. Oh.
Former.
Warmer,
Uh,
where?
Let's make sure you have what for the principals next week. That's all.
Yeah, absolutely.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
Um,
So you're not at work?
I'm leading a national organization.
You're not at work anymore?
I'm not, I'm the head of school on paper, but that's for.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah,
Well, congrats.
thank you, thank
Okay, so you're not, so you're not the.
you. My office is at Calvary Christian Academy.
Oh, my
Fort
gosh,
Lauderdale.
nice. Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
it's a direct.
So let's go on to the Miami Lakes Library, guys.
Okay.
So as of now, we have 11 events that they performed. I don't know if you guys got that data or not. I'm just gonna give you some emails that I got from Mile.
Read them to me.
So there's 11 events plus program supply, and right now we spent
I'm gonna show
$4,000.
you everything she said.
Do you want me to update your email?
No,
Maybe it's not working.
I have the emails you sent me and I,
Right, but
You're-
I'm sending it to entire groups of the still board, you not, that not any future ones, you want the email you want me to use?
no, that's the only one.
So they seem to be holding 1 to 2 events a month, mostly 1, but some months they have 2.
The library one?
That might
Sorry,
affect-
I don't know if I sent that to everybody. That one I will send to you guys now. No, this was recent, like last week.
Oh,
That one I only shared with.
I seen the one in April, I'm like, I can't be that.
And then finally,
The Dollar Park.
the Dolly Parton Library. I still don't know how to read this that you sent me, but they say that we have 182 students. Now, my concern with Dolly Parton Library is that we did vote to cut that budget. If I had 182 students, we seem to be spending about $27 per kid. That's about $2 a month.
is that the IMAG? Okay.
But we did request to cut that budget, and I will say to you that during our budget presentation. Clarissa came up to me and was concerned that we should be, by cutting it, we really are impacting the program.
Okay, so the actual $2,000 what we have
For it,
are available 1,900. Like the actual and available. Am I
so we have budgeted $4,000.
right?
At that point, we had spent 2,097,
Okay.
or
So that-
it actually correct.
That's the current. what's-
So we had cut it to, I think, $2,500.
From 4,000?
Oh, you guys were all here, you guys were the one,
I wasn't on that one.
well, I voted. But
I was not.
I didn't want to cut it, but the majority of the board wanted to cut it. My concern is that if we cut it $1,500, that's a significant impact. Now, I don't know how we're gonna reconcile that. But,
This was for next year, right, when you were proposing the new.
this year will get paid, but next year, then you're not gonna be able to budget. that funds. They're
No,
probably
no, I'm
not-
just
So
making
we
sure
have
that it's not this one.
182. How many we had last year? I wonder if it's growing, if it's stagnant.
That's the thing.
Provided that.
So what I got is a list,
Do you know how many were
and it's different groups.
2022, Kyle? Sorry, do you know how many children were for 2022? Because I know once they hit 5, they're already out, but. 'cause
I
you're saying
will
right
make
now,
sure-
182?
I don't have that right in front. of me. If you guys want me to send, what, the imagination library one, I can send that to you.
Right, because
So where did you get 182, Hector,
but that's what the town requested, they requested how many kids are enrolled in the program.
right now?
182. Now, they sent me a chart. The chart has groups. And this one group is, it said 3,197. I don't know what that meant, I was confused. But Clarissa basically replied, right? It was Clarissa PMD info right now.
Yeah,
It's 182 kids. I don't know if that's just the amount of books that we send in a year or.
Right, the ones that are enrolled, they get the books every month, right?
Right. It just says groups. Okay.
And that last year, we compared.
imagination library has a limit, if you want to add on children enrolled in the program, a total of 526 have graduated since.
But that's not the email they sent, it told me 182.
You have the email for me? Read it.
I think that was a follow-up to something else. Do we have any?
Yeah, Hector has it, he's gonna read it now.
Actually. Clarissa's email said My mistake is 192 for Clarion, so not 182.
Okay. but
No, there's
still,
a
it's not-
a second email that says
I also said
182,
500 something.
163.
Hmm.
So currently, no, it could be an out. Currently, there are 192 children enrolled in the program. This number changes monthly as there are children who
Right.
graduate from the program when they
Right.
turn 5.
And there's
Any
some
children
that-
are registered, any age between 0 and 5.
right,
So unless in the last, this was August 9th.
Mhm.
So unless in the last 2 weeks, 20 some kids graduated, could have happened, I don't know,
why, how many do we have now?
163.
Oh, it went down? Oh, it went down?
That's the number you gave us now, right? 163.
Hold on, because I'm.
What program are you guys talking about?
I'm gonna send you guys all a graph. That's what, right, that's the one I was.
That graph is very confusing. I don't know what that graph means. It says, I got the graph here. Group A, group 1, 169 in English, nothing in Spanish, by the way, it says English and Spanish. Group 2, 1122, group 3, 1999. Group 4, 2673,
That's a lot.
group 5, 3197, group 6, 1960, I don't know what that means.
So what are all these groups? Kyle, do you have any idea?
No, I believe that's because they're for kids that are, is this program not for little kids? That
Yeah,
graduate
from birth to
after-
5.
Okay, so I believe that's what it is.
Well, what is,
What
Does
is
that
that?
make sense, right? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, so then.
No, this is
those
group
numbers are The
6.
amount of kids that are in each group that we could, that the books are provided for?
I have to go back and clarify. I'm not sure. I know that the questions were answered based on what I thought we were.
well.
But if-
I
no, but if we're
I
not
asked you one
thinking
point,
back-
is this how
So
many
then-
kids, and you said.
Yeah, now we can.
By those numbers, there's more than 192 kids. Let me see the paper, if you don't mind. Right,
Okay.
because this graph right here has no explanation, there's no key.
All right.
There is- So there's a 0 to 3,500, but what does this mean?
Well,
here?
what is each group? do?
Obviously,
Because
okay.
There's a group 6, we don't do 6-year-olds. In fact,
Well,
once
then
they
you have
turn
to put
5,
0 to 1,
Yeah,
0
1,
to
1
1,
to 2.
1 to 3.
2 to 3, 3 to 4, 4 to 5.
Because once they turn 5, they're done, they don't send them any more books, so you can't say 6. Because my children were enrolled, and once they turned 5, they were done. They did not
That's
send
still
any more
make it
books.
5.
This does not make sense, because there's no 6-year-olds,
So then it's not that.
so it's not the age.
So like 0, 1, 2, 3. No, here, okay, so group 1 was born in 2023, group 2 born in 2022, group 3 born in 2021, group 4 born in 2020, group 5 born in 2019.
And group 6 or 4 in 2018. Right. So where do you get 3,000 from?
Yeah,
What is
now
that?
you're
What is that?
3,000.
No.
What does that
Right.
number mean?
It says
Or
group
baby.
5 is 3,187.
Oh, what is that?
Like,
Is that kids? Maybe the books.
I only have,
Or silence? No.
No, there's no
so
way.
there's
to
any
take out the
specific
way
you guys
to-
want me to-
I even had it down that 190 kids were born.
How many children are enrolled now?
No, that was just.
And last year.
That would be 300.
Well, you don't think per month, so let's just,
Right, something that we can compare.
so how many children are enrolled right now in August? Or September 1st, by September 1st? Because I know the emails aren't gonna come first. Tomorrow, compared to last year, September, so compared to last year, September 1st, 2022. We need some sort of data to work with.
Is there anything else?
No. You're doing.
Well,
the
that's
budget
the one data for a lot of things,
Yeah.
So one question for this.
for this.
so, okay.
Remember to send the email out about principles for next month. So any other questions related to budget expenses? Guys, it's only for information. I know the budget period, came and went. I really doubt they're gonna extend our budget. They're gonna do what we requested.
Through the chair, one question, just because I missed it. So I'm looking at the email I will send right now about the library programs,
Right.
and I see the total dollar amount. Is there any information as to how many students participated in each of the workshops?
So that's just events. No, they just give us the amount of events. It doesn't talk about how many kids.
So we don't know. how
So we
many.
have the event dates and we have
Each event.
dollar amounts.
Okay, so no number of children.
No,
Okay.
Or the.
remember, we're sponsoring the event.
Right.
It's hard to. Every event might be different, and I'm sure they have to.
But there has to be a way
There
to
should be
track.
yeah.
a sign in
writing.
There has to be a
check
sign-in
in,
sheet.
sign sheet.
Okay, that's great.
So maybe we should start setting up some sort of a check parameter, checklist, or some sort of data that we can receive back from these programs that we're funding. Because right now, obviously, there's no checks and balances here.
That's it.
Everybody's just, hey,
That's it, and you
here's
have
the
the money and.
go.
It's always been
So
fun.
then I think the next meeting, put it on your agenda that we need to meet to set up some sort of,
What a boss.
what?
It's like a workout thing.
What a boss, set it on your agenda, what is that?
You had that coffee today, you had that.
Next time we have to keep it off. and
Right.
making it-
Three shots of espresso in there.
Listen,
Whatever you're
in the
drinking.
beginning of the school year, and I have so much, it's just too much. Too much, too much.
This will come up again next May, guys. Again, I just want you to update it now, simply because the council's asking for it. And
No,
that's-
but again, we should have. the-
No, but I want some sort of,
Yeah, we
If
want
if
to know,
we're being told that we have the highest budget, we should be able to explain
Yeah.
why we have the highest budget,
right,
you know, we
although I
should
don't
just,
know where that
you
came
know.
from, but anyways.
Well, I know where they came from, because they took into account the money we got from the Victoria funds. And it made it look like we had like $90,000 in the budget.
all of that. was really-
Just exactly, that was, and that was like the
We didn't
one
use it
time
for any
thing.
activity.
Exactly.
So no other concerns related to the budget, right? On to new business, and I know we gotta come back to you, Maurice, and we gotta come back to the minutes.
We have
Okay,
already-
so Mrs. Claus, book reading, guys, December 9th. We have always been invited to, we participate. I know Mario's always there. I know Day always attends.
Do we have books for that, even?
That's the question. Do we have enough books? I know they're giving Gators and giving some books, but do we have enough books? Remember, that's for really, really small kids attending.
Yeah.
Now, we had talked last month that we had about $1,000 to spend and we could spend about 700, right? Without going to council.
Correct. Not so much spend, I mean, you can spend over 700.
No, no, no,
You
but
need
we-
to transfer between.
Transfer, but
Finance.
Claudia was also gonna check about
Mhm.
creating an
Is
account to buy
usually
books,
at
right?
night?
Huh?
Is it usually at 9?
No, during the day, morning.
I thought it was at.
What are the $1,000 currently allocated under what I,
Event, but we have a new.
so you can just spend it all on books if you really want. Because that's for events.
If we wanted to.
But Claudia sat here and Claudia, I think I talked about creating some sort of an account.
She has an account for the, what is it called? For music or?
Scholastic.
Well, I don't know if she has like an account, she was gonna create one to try to get the books through them.
She's done it in the past with, Bob Graham.
Because the last time we
Yeah,
got the
but-
books, they came through from Bob Graham, so.
So we're gonna let her.
Yeah, but we need to do this quickly, I mean, by the end of next month.
No, they arrive quick. Isn't it by December that you need the book?
Yeah, but we need to.
We need to spend before October.
No, yes, but they usually come, I mean, I don't know, I haven't done Scholastic in years, but.
So since you're sending emails, will you send an email to Claudia and follow up if she set up the account with Scholastics and so we can order some books? So we got that, guys, so should we make a motion to buy the books?
Don't we
What
all?
do you guys think? Huh?
Don't we?
That'd be for allocated for the budget for this year, not for the following.
Right, we got it.
So I'll make a motion to spend $700 on books.
Well, wait. Let's listen to Maurice again, because I like Maurice's point of view. Say it again.
So you guys currently have $1,000 in events. You
Yeah.
can spend that money up to October 1st or September 30th, right? If it's under events, you can spend that money on anything that's for events.
Yeah.
If you want to spend 1,000, all of our books have always been used for events. I don't recall it ever being
Exactly.
used for something that's not for events.
Mhm.
And if that money's gonna be expiring in a month. And going back to the general budget, if you guys wanna spend it on books, I don't see a problem. I don't see a problem with that,
And we also have money that we're spending on your.
right?
too.
I don't know if that would count for this.
All right.
Yeah.
My event is on October,
Oh, it's
Third.
October 3rd, boy, you would have.
But can we-
Could have spent that
Are
money,
we still allocated to the event?
I don't,
No,
no, because it's
that would
not,
be not.
it's the new year.
but you guys approved using $150 or whatever it was, so that would come out from next year's event. But it's good to be
Right, right.
spent,
Next year.
right?
Yeah, but we did vote on it again.
Say that again?
So it's good to be spent. It doesn't matter if it comes from this year's budget or next year's budget. It's good.
Yeah, you
It's
guys can
approved.
spend it, because I know you guys approved
Okay.
it, but it's really not. You shouldn't be using the funds for
Listen.
something that isn't gonna be used. for the
Listen.
Current fiscal year.
If pizza and soda, you shouldn't be spending $150.
So then.
You're gonna get sent to all kids. No, right. some
We use the
books.
books.
To do 900 for books and 100 for.
But do we really, we don't really need to vote on it then because it's allocated to.
No, his thing is fine.
No,
No,
it's
no,
still, but
the
the $1,000 for the books, we don't need to vote on it.
The $700 thing is when you're transferring funds
No,
between.
we're not.
And you're
We're
not,
not.
if you're using from the event line item, you're fine.
Okay. So
Okay,
we're,
So we can use up to $1,000. So,
Oh, wait,
so do we agree?
no, let's, my motion.
you want the motion?
So we use $900 for the books and then $100 for Facebook ad. For that event.
It's
For
not
what
our
event?
Why are we having this? It's not our event. What do you mean?
We don't.
And the event is
I have a
December.
question in reference to.
That's not
Yes.
ours. That's not ours.
It's not our event.
We don't want to promote it.
If you guys want.
That's why we haven't.
You're
brought that to
spending
the
on
table.
No, I think he has
We haven't brought this to the table
The
yet,
books will be
before
there.
we vote on spending any money.
What?
I know we have a video pending from the awards of excellence.
Oh,
I
There
know
were some
this was here.
changes that were supposed to be made, and they wanted to charge us extra.
Mhm.
So before
Yeah, it's
we,
not here, yeah.
you know,
So spend $700 on books and $300 on the video.
How much? is
It's
it?
I don't
not
know
that,
how
it's
it's not
not,
gonna be-
it's not that much.
So much is it?
we'll be sure.
Right now, for the last tweet you had sent, it was gonna be 50, but now if it goes further than that, there's gonna be more of a cost, but right now we're just looking at 50.
No, but no matter what, that can come from the $200 we have left over from the event.
What about committee shirts?
You guys do not have a line item for commissions.
That's under event, we go to
Let me
event for
double-
any shirt.
No, but shirts come out of a shirt line. item.
Yeah, I mean,
But let me check, cause maybe in the past, there's some committees that shirt, maybe you had a shirt.
Shirts come out from a shirt line item?
There's committees with a line
Yeah,
item.
there's-
for
No,
shirts.
no, sure.
They have it
we
under
never had a
miscellaneous.
Other under miscellaneous shirts, what I'm gonna do is
Is
I'm
it
gonna check, because what you see here are the line items that you guys are currently using.
Okay.
That's not to say you didn't have one in the past, and if you had one in the past, you guys can't transfer funds into it. It may just be at a zero, and that's why it doesn't come out in the report, so I'll check for you.
Gotcha.
So who does not have a shirt other than you, mother?
All of you guys have shirts?
I think so. I gotta look.
I think it was before you came. in.
Oh, of course.
I gotta look.
I thought nobody else. wearing shirts.
And how much are the shirts? $50 you said, right?
Yeah, you guys have names you can use, it's just obviously at zero right now, so if you wanted to transfer funds into that. The only thing is that if you're only gonna order one shirt, you have to find a vendor who's willing to,
Just do.
Yeah.
which they probably would, but they're gonna charge you, it's gonna be a very expensive shirt for one shirt. That's all I'm.
Okay. Well, Claudia's not here, she probably doesn't have one.
Maybe she has like an old one.
Okay.
Let's say 10 years. Oh.
Can we use any vendor or does it have to be like a time vendor?
You guys can use any vendor,
Oh,
as long as it doesn't conflict.
If there's, if you find the color of the shirt.
Yeah, the color of the shirt is the issue. You
But
send
they
out an
can
email
reply.
to the,
We
to
can-
the committee who needs the shirt. That way we can get the shirt issued.
Do I need a shirt? No, because it's only one person missing, right?
Two.
No, I'm saying from
Oh, you
the.
mean from the group, I'm sorry, yes.
So
It'll
you
be
need
3
a shirt.
shirts
right, me and Claudia.
and I need a shirt.
Oh,
And you need a shirt?
Yeah.
You get a shirt?
The one I have is like a bathrobe. I'll give it to you.
Ustedes están chiquiticos.
It's one of the small package.
so. I'm gonna send you.
I'm pretty sure.
Just give me your shirt size.
So,
So 700.
so we still need to move money then now to miscellaneous to be able to afford the shirts.
Correct.
And we
You
will
can do
move-
that, because it's gonna be under 700, so you can make a motion and move it, and that's fine, we can get that done.
And it should, I'm pretty sure it should not be.
Oh, it's 3 shirts.
I know, but I don't know, for some vendors, I know, like, you have to meet a minimum, that's all I'm aware of. Three does not sound like-
They're more than $20. I mean, I know that's gonna charge, I know that's not how it works.
Like $100 for the shirt.
No, it's gonna be 100.
Brand name.
It's not gonna be
I asked once and they told me about 50 for you, because I did ask that question.
$50 for each.
Yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
Exactly.
But that, keep in mind, we don't
I
have
get
to
better
use,
quality, I think 25.
we don't have to use a specific vendor, we
It's
can
the
use it
color,
where
like that color.
We just, did you get one from NIC?
Yes.
Those were a lot cheaper than the old vendor we were using.
When did you guys go?
But can you find out?
Look, I can pull
I'm
up
just
an NIC one. So that you know what the cost was.
We're
Here, I'll pull it up
traumatizing
for
our
you.
school board partners, even with all this. What time is the next meeting? 7:30.
Oh, okay. 20 minutes.
So they paid 186 for 6 shirts.
Yeah, that's 32, 33.
And that's because shipping and obviously they have to do a setup cost for the first time.
Like when we order 3 more of those shirts for,
Yeah, I don't know what the cost is gonna be, but I can ask.
well, it should not be more than 186, if you pay 186.
Yeah, because it might change, because the logo changes, they might make you change the starter fee and all.
There's gonna be a setup fee
Why don't you
and
put
I'm just saying
250
you
in
pay
there?
a minimum.
See?
You know, you can leave whatever.
Are you sure?
Oh, wow.
But yeah, so,
So
okay,
nobody-
so 3 shirts, right?
No, we
I'll
already
get
have
to
a
that.
principal, we take a break,
Okay,
so they can,
okay,
but we just kept going.
okay. All right, well, in that case, y'all,
No, go ahead, go ahead.
great kickoff to the school year. And we'll, happy to work with you on getting whatever.
Thank you, guys. Have a great day.
Stay dry. Be safe.
Yeah, go home, go home, but weather's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Good luck tomorrow.
And you're in a weather storm here? That's fine. So then I'll make a motion that we move $150 from our events fund to our miscellaneous fund to cover the cost of 3 shirts.
Second.
All in favor?
I,
Any opposed?
No.
See none, we move on.
And then for the books,
We got a motion. Well, we don't need to make a motion for the books.
and the remaining money, because you get two books.
Make a motion to spend.
Yeah,
No, I mean, you should make a motion that you guys are agreeing as a committee to spend.
Spend half the book.
On that specific.
Go for it, soon.
You got it going.
No, you were gonna make a motion.
They did ready. Did you?
so we have what?
Somebody else.
Oh, for the books.
So I'll make a motion to spend $850 of our events line item on books.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
I,
Anybody opposed? No. So we got that, those 2 in. And look, guys, please, whoever wants to attend this, it's open for everybody. I've participated every year since I've been here. I think it's a wonderful event.
What?
The book. read,
Oh,
the Mrs.
Oh, I know, I put it in my calendar.
It's also for the little
It's very
kids, you know, it's. Moving on to 10B, volunteer breakfast, September 30th is the new date, it's a Saturday.
So it was 8 AM on a
Yes.
Saturday.
Well,
You get free breakfast, come on.
you were supposed,
8 AM? My sleep is worth a lot.
well, I mean, we've been invited, you don't have to attend, I guess it's not
No, I'm sure it's nice.
mandatory.
I think during the week, isn't it, when they used to do it during the week?
Yeah, they should do the week, but no one.
Yeah, but then it's
I know,
hard,
I
to,
know.
you know,
No, I know.
especially when you have students over there wanting to.
Especially Maritzy, we made them change it.
Yeah, I think it was all about my grades.
Maritzy can't come, we gotta change it to Saturday.
So again, it was just an open invitation, I know you have to do that Eventbrite thing, right, to reserve, I don't know if the deadline passed or not.
No, you guys can still reserve, but
Yeah.
please do reserve if you do that.
Yeah,
Did you reserve already?
I'm gonna be in DC.
Oh, so you see, you're not coming, look at that.
Let's move on, all right. Let's move on to 8C, the topic of the day, the proposed name change to Miami Lakes Education Center. So about a month ago, Miami Lakes Education Center posted in their social media pages that they were gonna have a meeting to propose a name change. I attended that meeting. Mario attended that meeting. Councilwoman Ruana was at that meeting. I know Roger was at that meeting representing Mr. Alonso. So about 20 people spoke, about 2 people made a proposal to name the school, the Perla Tavares Educational Center. I believe that's something that they proposed. The vast majority of the people in attendance, even those who did not speak, because a lot of them started coming to talk to the different people afterwards, opposed the name change. My understanding, the way they explained it, is that the minutes from that meeting were gonna be sent to the school board. If the school board felt that we needed to proceed, they would create a committee, and that would generate at least 1 more meeting. I've been trying to follow the school board agendas, I haven't seen anything posted. But keep in mind that may be coming up. I want to give my opinion again, it's just my opinion, I do not think we should be changing the school's name. I'm very vocal about that, I do think that Ms. Tavares has done a great job for the community. She did research, represents for about 30 years, I mean, in fact, I don't recall anybody else on the board since I started working, and I've been in the system for 28 years now. So I'm all for her getting some recognition. I think it was brought up that Barbara Bowman has a building named after her, the capstone building. My point was, but if you want to name a school for her, there's a lot of growth going on the west side of Hialeah. I'm sure we're gonna have to build a school over there.
Yeah.
Feel free to name a school after her.
Mhm.
My thing is Miami Lakes Education has been there before the town even incorporated. You know, it carries the town's name,
Money wise too.
you know, we as a committee provided money for their, not marketing, what do they call it?
Branding.
Right.
Branding,
We spent, I think, what was it, $20,000?
About 10,000.
10,000.
No, I think, yeah, changing the name,
I don't think it's beneficial for anybody, you know?
I think it's,
I understand, we like,
It is what
you
it
know,
So,
like I just said, we understand the achievements as Perla haven't has accomplished, but I think,
I'm
you
sure
know,
there'll be another.
there's another
school in the area,
school,
District 4, I'm
Correct.
positive, somewhere,
or if there's a school that's large enough that you can name a wing,
right,
like,
right.
you know, Barbara Goldman did, why not name you know, section or a gymnasium or something like that?
Right.
Even a street.
so obviously at any public meeting, we cannot speak, neither I nor Jessica or any of us here can speak on behalf of the EAB because we have not been brought up, but now that's why I'm bringing it up.
Mhm.
So I just wanted to get maybe a consensus from anybody, any opinions, so. Because when I could identify myself as a community member, I cannot say as the
Right.
chair of EAB or anything like that. So, but I would like to be able to, as an EAB, to come together one way or the other on it.
I thought you brought up two valid points, what they just paid in signage,
Mhm.
which came out beautiful. I mean, the branding for the school is great now.
Yes.
And then I think there is a lot of expansion on the west side, like you said, I think
Mhm.
that there's opportunities there.
But it's a school that's nationally recognized.
Yeah.
It's one of the top magnet schools in the country. You know, there's a lot of pride. Think about how many alumni you have from that class.
Mhm.
You're gonna erase all that.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? I think, I've never seen, listen, again, I've seen proposal of name changes, Skyway is a Federico Wilson / Skyway.
Right,
You know,
The-
Virginia Boone, you know, it's used to be Highland Oaks
it's
Elementary.
usually new schools,
Right.
right?
Well, but
Yeah, like a 1 or 2 year old.
But I see it like an elementary school. No,
Right.
Skyway's very old.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying, I've seen elementary schools, but a high school,
Mhm.
that's where you graduate, that's your alma mater, that's,
Mhm. I know, I agree with you.
you know, I think that's the wrong school to come after and that change. So I don't know if we would need to make a motion to officially take a stand
well, so you can speak for,
on behalf, right?
go ahead,
Make a motion.
go chair.
How do we word it?
I'll move that the EAB officially, I'm telling you how to do it.
Thank you so much.
Stay. I'm telling you.
Make a motion that the EAB officially stand against the renaming of Manly's Education Center.
That sounds kind of, we're in a war here.
That's a little like
Cuando-
sit-in, like a sit-in.
So then let's do the positive side.
That our chair speaks on behalf of the whole board, that our stance is that Miami Lakes Educational Center should stay.
Should remain.
So retaining as Miami Lakes.
So you haven't made a motion in a while, go ahead, Kevin.
Yeah, that's it, there's your emotion.
I make a motion that our chair speaks on behalf of the Education Advisory Board of Miami Lakes. That Miami Lakes Educational Center's namesake should stay as is.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, guys. Moving on. FIU scholarships and grants. So again, in the summer, don't ask me dates, guys. That's how I was invited to attend a meeting with the town foundation. I know, again, Mr. Pineda was there representing Giving Gators, right?
Mhm.
And everybody else was the town foundation, I believe.
Correct.
So-
And then,
Mr.
Donaldson.
AJ Donaldson from Epic Foundation, right, was there. So basically, and I forgot his name and I should know, he used to work at UM and. So there was a representative from FIU, and what they proposed is that, so. They came up with some sort of data that after students get financial aid. There's a gap of about $2,000 in tuition, and we're talking about first generation students in college. Okay, So there's about a $2,000 gap, and FIU is creating partnerships with municipalities to fundraise the gap. So he stated that Miami Lakes had about 60 students. I think that's a very high number, but about 60 students who fit that criteria. That they're first generation college students and on financial aid. So he said that he had somebody who to partners, that it will be like a public-private partnership. He had somebody already in line that would be willing to sponsor half the scholarship, but they were short about, was it $60,000 or something like that? Now, the truth is,
But
we don't have the money.
there's, but wait, go
So
back,
that's
that's back. It also includes, it's not senior to, it's not a senior graduating, going to college that they give this.
These are current college
Yeah,
students.
these are current college students.
That go to FIU.
They go to FIU only, that only go to FIU.
So it's
That-
only those students that, I mean, obviously, we're not gonna fund this. But having my own college student that is graduating in December, and when she was applying, I found it very insulting that kids that the parents had not gone to college, had not sacrificed, had not gone their years and studied, were getting priority over her, extremely high scores, extremely high GPA, just because their parents didn't go to college and hers did. So since she had two parents that graduated from university, she was kind of looked down on, like privileged. So you should be able to have all these scores and all these, no, they're not. So I have a problem with that first generation college child. That irks me a little bit, just because it hits me personally, because it's not fair. Why? Why do they, just in general, it's not against you, just anybody, why single out that first generation? I don't know, explain, please, somebody explain.
Through the chair, I agree with you to a certain extent. However, I don't agree with that language of the parents that didn't sacrifice. I think some parents just didn't have the opportunity. I don't think it's a matter of sacrifice. Yeah, absolutely.
No, it's a lot of parents that chose not to go to school somewhere.
I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that.
Or they went somewhere else, but then again,
No.
if your parents didn't go, I'm not saying you, I'm just saying, if the person's
Some
parents
parents
didn't
didn't
go
have
and
the
the other ones did, okay, they didn't have the opportunity, but why choose that child over mine?
I
Because
agree
her
with you.
parents
I
went.
agree with that. You shouldn't choose your child.
That's not fair.
I agree with that too.
But we can't.
My parents didn't go to college, but at that point, at that time, I didn't get chosen over somebody else, because at that time and place, when I went to college in 1992, they didn't have that first generation, let's give them the benefit. Let's give them a little more because their parents didn't go. No, it was like everybody was equal. Everybody was that pace. Everybody was equal, everybody. So what does that have to do with anything?
A lot. Didn't your parents pay for your education?
Yeah, and they sacrificed to pay for my education.
But not
It's not like
everyone
it-
has the opportunity.
No, some people do and they don't want to.
But that's.
Or
what
they
they
just,
pay.
because there's
We
some
can't-
people
we
that
can't
can't.
generalize. We can't.
Okay,
point
well
the
then,
finger at
why are you gonna penalize a kid because my parents paid?
No, 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 I agree, there has to be boundaries, but as
Yeah.
a whole, you not judge everybody the same.
Oh,
It depends on the.
but then you guys are doing double-edged sword, because then you're
No,
saying,
no, no.
why judge everybody? You're saying, why should I judge? But then they're judging the kids that the parents went to school by saying just first generation.
Right.
Well, you're still
So I-
first
so I-
generation, aren't you? I am, my daughter's not.
So
I
I,
understand that, right,
so what I understood, Jessica, from that meeting is what they were trying to prevent that these kids would drop out because of the
because
cost,
of the
right?
$2,000 difference,
Well, but
What they're
that's,
trying to do
but
is.
they can get loans like everybody
Sure,
else does
sure.
as well.
I'm not,
for
and
those
I'm, and I'm,
2,000.
and right, and I'm not saying, and FIU is pretty inexpensive as
It is, it is,
as a
very-
university.
I mean, not.
I mean,
very,
it's
but it
not
is.
the same, like my kids know, like I said, I'm a first generation college student, just like you were.
Mhm.
My parents came, they were migrants, they were working, my dad worked 16 hours a day. I get all that. They never had the opportunities that they gave me,
Right.
right? So I went in, I did my thing. Now, of course, my kids know that I'm gonna be nagging them
Mhm.
every day about, are you doing your class? I said, well, what, so we're more on top of it. So I think my kids have less of a chance to drop out of college than somebody whose parents never went to college, because they don't have that same motivation. Right? Now, I agree with you that it should not be, it should be based on merit. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I think it should be
We're
100%.
not disagreeing on the merit that you should be accepted to a school or not, But I don't think it's about the merit. These kids are already in the university.
Right,
Right.
so and they're
It's
gonna
not
fund their $2,000 gap.
Right, yeah. So what they came, and I think what they're gonna do, and again, I'm just saying it because I was physically at the meeting. Okay,
Mhm.
and I, I like to disclose things, I don't wanna. So what they're saying is, what they wanna do, I think, is a town foundation to cover some of it.
Right.
And then
The
the-
town foundation has the money for it either.
But they don't have,
And they
But
wanted
they
the
have to
town
apply
to
for the
cover the other.
grants. They have to
Okay.
apply for the grants.
and then they wanted the other
No.
nonprofits around the town to help.
No,
try to
they're all-
figure it out.
This is the way I understood it, because I was at the meeting as
Oh, you
well.
went to them? I
Yeah, I
don't
was
know where you
there.
were, I'm sorry. you
So
were-
the way I understood it was a private donor,
Right,
puts up
it's donated,
1/3,
right.
1/3. Then, the town foundation puts up the other 1/3. And then I think,
The university would do the other.
No,
but the other sum, what he was explaining, so the city of Miami already did this with this program.
Mhm,
And they had over $1 million.
mhm.
Because obviously St. Miami's is huge, and
It's
they
huge.
funded over $1 million for these students at FIU that were missing the gap. And that the city of Miami put from their town budget, from their city budget, part of the money, I don't know, it was like 250 grand. So the municipal partner puts up a part from their budget, then a private donor matches that, and then another part is matched from somewhere else that they figure out.
Yeah.
And that's what I interpreted.
Now, what I do remember. Thank you. So I know that the discussion was had, and I think that last I heard is that they maybe we're gonna try to go to the town, budget to the town.
Right.
Because I don't think the town foundation has the money,
No,
right? All the money goes from grants.
correct.
They already-
Committees, we're the only tied to education itself, and we definitely don't have the money. And then there were other community agencies. I don't think giving Gators to grant, that kind of money, or even the Epic Foundation, I don't think they will be able to come up with that kind of money. So at the end of the day, it falls upon the town and the council to budget. Again, I'm just bringing it up because
60 students,
60 students,
I live in the town.
$2,000 each one,
it's 120.
and they want the town to cover that for each one?
No,
Does it only
Or
want?
they have to apply for it? Like a
No,
scholarship.
they don't apply, but the town's portion.
You have to meet certain criteria for it, but what they're getting at is they need to cover the gap. So if you worked in the city of Miami, they're trying to see the smaller municipalities to go.
And I think Hialeah Gardens is doing it. I think Hialeah, they've had a meeting with Hialeah too. I think North Miami Beach is already.
So it's not all the children that are on the financial aid.
Personally, through the
It's the
chairperson,
ones that have the gap,
First generation.
first generation students that
That's
have the
right.
gap.
I don't think it's benefiting. I mean, I look at it this way, they're just trying to keep the student within FIU, at all means possible.
Right.
If they're gonna drop out for that 2,000 that they.
No,
can
they're
get
not.
for,
Exactly,
You're saying that they're afraid that they're gonna drop out.
That's the pitch that
They're
they give.
already in there,
That's the pitch that they give you,
because
but
these are students that are established students at
yeah,
FIU.
correct. You can only be an established student, you can only be a first year and
No, first generation.
first generation, yeah, so I think it doesn't really, we help it out.
Hey, guys, nothing to take a vote on, it's just for record, purposes that I was at the meeting. My concern, no, that's clear, we don't have the money, to fund anything like that. So guys, so with that, let's go back because that ends the agenda. We never did the student report and we never did the approval of minutes. So let's start with the student report since we're here.
Thank you, Chairman. So I'm excited. We're back, start of the school year, and we're starting this new strategy when it comes to student engagement this year of doing a student meeting at the beginning. So that way it's a good introduction of me and hopefully some of you guys come out too and they understand what EAB is. And then from there, it's just creates a solid connection. I can get their information, maybe make some type of chat. It just becomes a lot easier than having to reach out to all of these activities directors, and then it's an issue, and then the kids don't get the message from the activities director, when are we gonna meet? It just became like a problem, and then the Zoom meetings, and it was kind of crazy. So this in-person meeting has been scheduled for Tuesday, October 3rd at 4:30 p.m. here at Town Hall. Hopefully the chambers are available so we can do it in there or wherever. Yeah, we'll talk.
Right,
So-
the date I did get.
We'll chat about that. The only thing that I wanted to bring in front of the board, especially for Isle, is to reach out to the principals, maybe at the beginning of
So I
September.
already told her, actually, those two people that were here is the intergovernmental,
Yeah,
and the new one, so you sent the email already,
The
right?
email request.
okay, great. So hopefully each principal sends about 3 kids, or, you know, something like that.
Okay,
How many had you said?
I said at least two, I mean, if they watch
Okay.
the whole team,
Okay, that's fine. So, you know, at least 2 to 3 kids, and we got a group, a good number. Can we also include, I don't know if it was included in the email, but can we include Our Lady of the Lakes in that? Just in case they want us to.
I can send it directly to the first one.
Yeah. So, I'm excited for that, and hopefully some of you guys, can join us. And then from there, I can work with that group of students every month instead of having to scramble to try to
You're
get
gonna be in
students
person?
right here.
Oh, every
I
month?
mean, no.
just.
Oh, this is
This
the
is the
initial
first
meeting.
in-person meeting,
then
and then
after
from
that-
there, I can have their contact info from that meeting, and then I can meet with them virtually every month.
Oh,
and
okay,
get
okay.
Updates and things like that. So maybe my plan is to do an in-person meeting at the beginning and at the end of the year. To kind of, and then close the school year, and then in between, we'll communicate digitally with representatives from each of the high schools. So that's my report. Any questions?
No.
Thank you, guys.
Doing a wonderful job, sir.
We can't forget about the video. The EAB Award of Excellence. The whole issue with the video,
$50 and.
yeah, but we didn't.
So what was the video that
Discuss.
was posted? That it was like.
There
nice
wasn't a video posted.
No, there's.
So what was it that was posted?
Nothing was.
Nothing has been.
Did
posted.
you guys share?
We shared it, shared it with you, but we didn't post it.
Just pictures, but not the video.
Something, oh, that must have been something you guys made then.
No, they sent it to you, you saw it, yes, you saw video,
No, wasn't there something? on
yes, but
Facebook?
it wasn't posted, no.
It Wasn't posted.
Just the picture.
The video was. It needed some edits, so that's why there's the extra cost.
Yeah.
Well, we already paid a cost, the extra cost.
Yes, so the initial cost was $300. However, there's been a lot of edits back and forth, so to a certain point. Now the videographer is saying, you know, like,
Mhm.
I didn't charge you guys the price it would have been. With all these like extra edits, like.
The problem
So-
was that we never actually sat down and indicated as a board what we wanted to have in that video. There were names missing also, the students who won, not, their names are not fully, you know, they're not all there. So we have a percentage of them there, the other ones are missing. So there's a lot of little details that need to be fixed in order to that video to be, you know, shown and exposed.
But I think the names are now, the names are all good. I think the changes were now more like the scenes. and
No,
the
we were
font.
missing,
The branding.
The last, no, but like the last final one, when he said, okay.
Oh, the
now at this
last
point, I
final
have to
one.
charge you. Yeah,
um,
yeah, I believe the students, I know initially the video, so the thing is that the video was kind of. The only direction that was given was kind of like, you know, we're gonna do the same thing as last year, kind of. or
Yeah, but it's
Similar
not
to
even-
last year, but this
not even close. to last
realistic.
year.
And
Last year they
realistically,
did a great job.
this event
year,
is
it was more like.
a little different.
Put together really quick, and there was a lot of stuff that was missing. So that's why we kept asking, listen, we're missing this part, we're missing this part. At the end, he said, well, if I'm gonna keep editing, then I'm gonna have to charge you guys.
So, but do we know exactly what we need? I mean, because I'm not
At
involved
this-
with the video.
Yeah, at this point, I mean, everything's been sent out
And-
now, so.
Yeah, but the one, so I guess just to Hector's point, at this point, all we need is that the last email that you and I,
Yeah.
um.
And that should be fine, and that's settled.
Like
go
that
back
would,
to my
that would
house.
settle
It's
it.
been so long. I have to go back to me.
So how much is he charging, wanting to charge for that?
Well, when it gets closer
50?
to like flashback.
So then I,
to
yeah,
May.
exactly. Flashback.
Well,
to
you
the
guys can
awards.
use that video.
Stay tuned for the new one.
To promote
Stay
the
tuned.
new awards. When you
Yeah,
start
at this
soliciting.
point, we're gonna have to do it that way.
nominations, Yeah.
We're gonna have to just do the market.
So how much is he charging?
Yeah.
For right now, for the
Yeah.
last set of edits, it's
$50.
$50 for the last round, and I believe that that's. Unless there's anything else, I don't know, if you wanna look at it before
Why
we
don't
send
we
it to him.
just, the
the-
shop and
from
then
the
use
event
it
money,
for
no?
the.
Or no,
event.
I'm sorry. It's from the other money.
At this point, you're gonna have to use it.
Mhm.
So you want us to make a motion?
It's just, yeah, because you guys originally agreed to 300, so we just wanna be sure that you guys are okay with that.
And we haven't paid him any more than 300,
No,
okay.
no, that's why we're coming to you guys. so it would be,
Okay, so we did the video, at this point, we made the investment, the event has been held,
Obviously.
you know, so,
Exactly.
and like I said, we have some money left, so I make a motion that we move. The $50 to pay, or to increase the budget to $350. For the video,
Wait, it is 350, right?
It is 350.
It already was 350.
so why don't we,
Yeah. So.
so we have budget of 350?
So
you know what I'm saying?
maybe, did you add it there? For the
I
edit?
don't know if those. Because of that.
Yeah, so 350.
So that's
What are you-
Hold on, what are you,
Oh.
what are you doing? The first, well, the last page, what are you? Let me,
So then he was gonna charge you for two hours with edits?
so no, it's an additional,
So 400.
it's an addition.
So it's 400.
Yeah, 350 was the initial,
Extra
what was paid.
Yeah.
But look at the date, this is from the initial.
So
So it'll
then,
be.
Oh, we're agreeing for.
so then I'll make the motion that we increase the amount of the awards video from 350 to 400 to cover the edits.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Guys, let's go back to let's review the minutes, guys. Let's approve the minutes and we should be doing that.
I don't know if he- Does he wanna say something about?
Oh,
Maybe
Mr.
sweet?
Amador, this.
Finish the minutes and then go to that.
Yeah, well, yeah, we'll do it right now. We'll do it on now.
No, we can't finish the meeting.
Finish the minutes.
Oh,
Let's approve the minutes.
yes, yes, yes.
A motion to approve the minutes of Monday, Madam, June 26th. You already have. them.
Principals. It's just with the principals.
Do you have a motion to approve them?
Second.
Anybody need time to read them or you got them?
No.
All in favor?
I-
Mr. Amador. Any other?
Just want to say, we all know school started last week. We've been trying our best to get all the schools flowing as fast as possible. We noticed one big thing, like I'm at Bob Graham and but we noticed the same thing pretty much everywhere. The kids aren't taking buses. So like traffic is just not getting any better.
Nope.
So that's we're trying to, and we had more units last week, but now we're back to the norm, which is mostly 2 per school. And it really did help to have more units in every school last week, but the contract is 2 per school. But we're just trying to move it as best as we can. I had a meeting already with Bob Graham and I gave him my suggestions on what they can do because I'm there. And the units are all working on the same thing, each one trying to figure what's best and talk to the schools to see if, there's something that the schools can do. I know there's a lot of budget issues because I ran into that at Bob Graham. We don't have any money for anything else because some of the suggestions are actually physically doing some construction, but we know it would make a hell of a just better for everything, but it is what it is.
Do you think that if the town did an initiative like a social media ad on these are the routes they should be taking to drop off your child at Bob Graham, and then one for Miami Escape the Raid, one for the middle school, one for Barbara Goldman, do you think that would help?
Only in the beginning, like right in the beginning, the first few days, because after that, everybody gets their bearings.
So what is your biggest issue now? Just the amount of cars that we're having?
Yeah, the volume.
The volume?
So the truth is that there's no buses, right? I don't know if the district.
No, there's buses.
No, but that's
They
private
just don't
buses,
take them.
private buses,
No, there's public buses too.
but not many. I know Goldman has a major issue with the public. buses,
Yeah.
The public buses.
Yeah.
And
Have a shortage of buses.
Really?
I don't think it's a sort of a budget.
Bus
I think I
driver.
for a bus driver.
They're offering you now, if you become a
After
bus
COVID, that
driver.
was the biggest-
I know they offered the football team, if you're a coach and you have a CDL, they will pay you to bus the children. Yeah, yeah.
so it's very difficult, and then you have schools like Bob Graham that your principal or your AP reported 1,400 enrolled students, right? It's in the middle of a neighborhood, that's only one way, it's very, you have Barbara Goldman, 3,100 kids, Barbara Goldman.
At Barbara Goldman, you don't see any more buses on the roundabout.
On the loop.
Those were always full of buses on the private bus.
Yeah.
How many hundreds of kids, how many hundreds of cars? That's less, right? And then at Bob Graham, when the last, there was an issue with the HOA and the grass. And when they made the complaint, everything went sour. That should have never happened. That should have just stayed the way it was because we would have. And then now because of that, the entrance to the school, it's twofold. One is the parents, and you're there, so I don't know if you've seen it, the parents don't let the kids out. So they're in the school, but they don't let the kids out until they're the first car.
Instead of letting them out walk and then
Right.
just go off the side and. keep
Yeah,
going.
there's eight
To keep it moving,
8
yes.
cars, they don't do it. But the other thing is, there's no one there to get the kids out either.
No,
Like
but the
to-
APs are supposed to be out there, they're not out there?
Today, there was one person that came out after,
Oh, no, we lost our AP
8:05.
there. That's what it is. She went to POC. we
Uh,
lost the AP.
you know,
That's why.
who's, I see him always trying, but it's one person, is the assistant principal.
Mesa?
Mason. See him running around on the golf
Oh,
cart,
yeah, he
and he's
walks
there,
around everywhere.
but it's one
Yeah,
person,
yeah.
and you have 8 cars, and then one person.
Yeah, but
Then
they
the-
don't
the
follow
next
the
one-
rules here. They get in the middle lane and the right lane and the left lane, and then you can't get out.
Let me tell you, if they would do even that, but let the kid out, it would be great, because at least you could move it. The
Yeah.
problem is they're sitting there,
Yeah, because you
and
can't
they
get
don't let the kid
out.
out.
One thing that I did notice when I used to be at Bob Graham, I mean, I went through all of that. But why can't they maybe kind of change the dismissal times from normally like middle school comes out at the same time as the elementary? Then you have parents, you know, maybe kind of change a little bit the dismissal time
I suggested that and.
and.
they
You
were
gotta-
gonna go
you gotta
back
go
down.
And then
At one
Cause
time,
I know I spoke to Mesa about it and he was the first one to say, no.
at one
But
time, it was like
if you
two
really think about
45,
it, yeah.
or 250 or
Then
something.
it was,
Like one time they would let out like
I
10
mean, I
minutes
get it,
early.
they don't wanna stay there longer hours, cause I mean, that affects their pay and, you know, like everything.
But I think
Budget
it's
and
district policy.
But
Like, I don't
yeah,
think
they
a
have to
single
have a
school
certain
can
amount of
decide to
hours.
let out 20 minutes earlier.
Right.
No, not that 20 minutes earlier, but it him so like.
Still. same
Yeah, like
hours.
the
Rainy
middle
day,
school
still
part,
same hours.
If they let out 5 minutes earlier,
Exactly, that's why.
that 5 minutes would make another 15-minute thing
Exactly,
for
there's a
that
big
one.
difference in that
quick
change.
5 minutes,
That's what I'm
yeah.
saying.
There's schools
You
that
know, I
do
should get
staggered
into that.
dismissal in the district, no? I remember when I was teaching. we did
I had no
staggered
issues,
dismissal.
just.
No, but that was the
They kept
elementary,
doing
and they
it.
do that
The-
one
the
fifty
happy,
for the
obviously.
primary
But
grades,
after,
250
like,
for the other grades.
Scattering
Except when.
was,
what is it that you're doing in the morning about,
Suggested the same thing, but it didn't, they didn't.
around 7 o'clock, you're not making, letting you make that left into the,
just enforcing what's there.
you can't make that left,
Yeah, just enforcing it.
so how does,
The complaints are coming in from Royal Oaks that,
It backs up 82nd.
Correct.
All the way.
Yeah,
to
so-
PSN. No. If somebody said,
Right.
there's not a light, there's not four-way stop, there's nothing there. So if people are gonna turn left
Mhm.
into that little gate from, let's say from PSN.
no,
turn
I'm
left,
talking
is that what you're
about,
about?
I'm talking
Which one's
about
correct?
154. And then you're gonna make a left, like if you're going into the Winn-Dixie Plaza, what's that, then you're going.
Oh, I know, that was.
That's-
Okay,
You don't allow people to make that left, it's blocked off.
He's talking about another one, he's not talking about the one.
okay, yeah, second is the one everybody calls.
You know the plaza, Winn-Dixie Plaza?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have in the morning, you not from, if you're coming from the Palmetto towards, let's say, the west side, right? You can't make, I'm sorry, you can't make that right into the shopping center. You know how you have to get in the right lane to make, you guys put cones there now in the morning. And then like not allowing people to make that right.
Oh, to go into the Winn-Dixie
Yeah,
shopping plaza
Yeah.
from 7-9.
from 7, no, from 154th. So you have 154, you have to get all your way to your right-hand side.
You're heading west.
You have to go west, you have to make that right into the little street, you go into the,
The little perimeter.
into the street that takes you to Bob Graham, there's cones there, in the morning. It doesn't make you make that right. Like at 7 o'clock. Later on in the morning, I guess they remove them, but in,
I haven't seen them.
yeah.
Maybe it's for the shopping center, because then everybody will come in and then it will back up.
Yeah,
shopping
in the
center.
shopping
Still backs it up.
Yeah, they're still in.
Yeah, it still backs it up until 254.
I've seen them in the shopping center, but not
Hector,
So,
on Lake Stripe.
Hector, can you put there, when the principals come, maybe we can ask them what the issue is on staggered, why they can't, maybe have, I probably has to go to the board,
right.
you know, anything like that, right?
And I don't know what we could do. but-
Because I know that K8.
We tried
has the
to
same
tackle
issue.
this traffic
K8 is all the
issue
way to 6. there,
couple
like
times already.
all the way
Yeah,
also.
Yeah.
I'll tell you for the
I don't know
students.
about my place,
At
middle
Bob
though, are
Graham.
they also back? No, the traffic isn't as bad, is it?
Well,
Because of their
We're
hours.
saying.
Right, they let out 350.
With the-
Right, so their traffic is
5,
not
10
bad.
minutes
good.
further.
It's bad.
That would make it easier for the middle school, maybe letting out 10 minutes earlier.
Right, yeah, just about 10 or 15 minutes
10 minutes
earlier.
would be the whole change.
Yeah,
of
that's
everything.
it.
The elementary would have to go before the mid.
Right,
Elementary would have to
right.
have 10 minutes earlier.
Elementary first.
And then the middle, yes.
So look.
No, because I think they have to bring it up to.
And I don't know
the
this, guys.
superintendent, and then, yeah, they have to,
I'm just saying, we come in 10 minutes,
but
right?
still, write it down, put it on the
There's-
agenda for us to ask.
Just in case.
Would they have to have
elementary first? You're gonna be here.
Huh?
Would it
I
have
know,
to be
but-
elementary?
Yes.
No, but maybe if it's written down.
Just for safety
The
versus,
bullet.
you have to let the kids out.
Because the middle school there, where it's at, there's a line of parents that
Mhm.
aren't picking up elementary kids
Right,
that are outside.
exactly.
If those, give them 10 minutes and those, all the people disappear.
Oh, the ones that line up on the grass.
Yes,
by-
and all of them disappear. Now you have space for the ones that are picking up from elementary, that are going around to pick up middle and everybody else. I mean, it would be the change that would make everything better.
The only
Just
problem-
10 minutes, just.
The only problem with that is the middle school parents that have a little one, they still would sit there and wait,
Right.
because they have to wait for the little ones. to
But
come up.
those are coming in,
So-
those aren't coming in
So they come
from,
out through the other side, they come in through the other
They
side.
come to the
right,
loop.
right, they're
Yes.
separated in that sense,
Right.
yes, 100%. Yes.
Do you use the loop for pickup as well?
They use everything.
Yeah.
They use the loop by the, you remember that one? The loop in the.
No, but when
In
I
the
was there,
field,
it was
they use
like
the
that.
The loop in the
They're using
field, they
everything.
use the
Yeah.
one by middle school that goes on the perimeter road, that little area there. And then they use
They have
that-
the map, you've seen them,
Yeah.
you can ask for the map. They have
So
the map where they-
ultimately, the school board will have to provide a waiver to the
You
school.
can get it on
To
the.
change.
Change it, right. Gonna be done though.
But it could be
I
done.
mean, listen, I know middle school.
I
have
mean,
high
it's
school.
only 10-15 minutes, that's not.
So it
They're usually packing up and-
depends, ultimately, let me tell you my opinion, yeah. And I've had this argument with Dr. Sanchez, right? These are schools, it depends on where they're located, right? They're reside residential. area,
Right.
Okay. I think Bob Graham's issue is when they created that middle school building. I know you guys were over capacity at that point. But all of a sudden you created 300 extra seats, right?
Mhm.
Now your school is under capacity. What happens? You're under capacity, people go request transfers. Let's put kids, and these kids don't come from very close by, right?
No,
Some comes from Miami Gardens, from Hialeah, you know, they come in. Barbara Goldman, we get rid of boundaries. Barbara Goldman's paid for 3,600 kids. I've argued with Sanchez, I don't think Goldman should have more than 2,400 kids, they have 3,100,
Or 33.
you know,
It can't-
no, 30,
no.
3,100. So when you keep adding, when Sanchez took over, we were at 16, 1,700.
It affects
That's when you
everything. It
graduate.
affects even from the lunch.
All of a sudden, we almost double the population.
Everything.
What do you think's gonna happen? Now, I was the police, because I've seen videos of this. I've been really looking at that little street by the canal. Because someday there's gonna be a major issue there, the amount of cars are getting to the wrong side of the street, because every park's on the right, that right hand
the
side.
grass.
No, on the middle of the
No, no,
street.
no street.
So some cars try to skip and they go.
Bob Graham?
No, we're talking about.
Oh, you said Paul, okay, okay.
So you have cars going the wrong way, you know, on the opposite lane to try to pass them. Guess what? Now there's a car coming the other way. They're all stuck. They cannot get back into this lane. They're starting to argue.
On the perimeter road.
Yeah, it's a perimeter road. So I think.
But then
Well,
again, it's the
restoring
same
Bob-
issue of, Goldman, in the past, you have, essentially you have two lanes. You have the two lanes and then you have the middle emergency, right? So if you would have everybody, last year they had everybody line up on the right side. And sometimes in that middle emergency lane, right, and you would leave the one lane free for you to pass by. You can't get by now.
No.
I talked to Chen the other day, I'm like, if you have a paramedic, someone gets hurt here, you have a paramedic.
I
it's-
had that issue with them as well, and I told the police, but that's the police officer.
And I
Oh,
talked to Chen, I
police
talked to
officer.
Mr.
That's
correct,
there.
I said to
He
him,
made that decision, and I think it's very wrong, because again, there's an emergency.
How's the
You're not gonna
paramedic-
be able to get a paramedic through there.
Because
They're
that
blocking.
other lane.
that lane,
Yes,
there is no
blocking,
lane, there
yeah.
is no direct lane to
That's
get
not
to,
the- yeah.
Barbara Goldman
Mhm.
from 87.
Yeah,
You can't get to the school, you can't get,
yeah, he completely blocks it.
and I'm like, just
It should be
move,
left
just give
open.
one person a
That way-
ticket and I guarantee you, everybody will move
Yeah,
after that.
you
Yeah,
can
that's
leave
how
it
it's
for
always
emergency,
been.
and you can leave it for parents that are not picking up and only in the loop. You have parents picking up all the way at the end. Why are you blocking the whole entire?
So you have the first few cars doing this already. and
Yes.
they're
You
blocking-
have
Not the loop, because he allows them to be on both lanes.
So
No,
you know the
the-
entrance-
it was only one
One
there,
side.
And then,
and then the other one keeps
The
moving.
entrance
Right.
to the parking lot, to the student parking lot,
Makes no sense.
they start there, and then you have both lanes empty before, and then the emergency one here
Right.
is completely packed with cars of everybody waiting, and you're like, okay, I need to get to the office for an emergency purpose. You can't.
You can't,
No,
you can't move it off.
But I know the lack of public busing creates a problem, right? In a case like Barbara Goldman that has no boundaries. I assure you, I I would say maybe 40-50% of the kids come from way outside the area.
But
North Miami from.
Wow. That's a.
But I disagree because by 2:45, 2:50, it's over. Yes or no?
250.
2:50, 2:45, 2:50, the crowd is gone.
No way. What are you talking about? I've sat in traffic till like 3:30.
I go,
Yes, sir.
Oh, but that's only in the first days, not, that's not the norm.
Big year.
Or when, or if it's raining, but that's not the norm, no, before 3 is gone,
Yeah.
I guarantee, and I'm not there. I guarantee it's gone. Because-
15 we're done.
Because the guy, right, by
Yeah, by
3:20,
15
we're done, because the guys that are there
I've
sometimes
got
have to
you.
go to other schools
We
and like.
had
they'll
ESAC
join-
meeting set for 3 PM at Barbara Goldman, and we cannot get in to be at the ESAC meeting, it's past 3. We can't get in. So I don't know where you're going.
Well, I know that
No,
more
maybe
kids
the
we keep putting
beginning
into our
or
local
those
schools,
days, but no, it doesn't go past 3.
Mid-year.
the more kids we keep putting for our local schools,
Yeah,
the more the traffic issue and.
No, I guess.
You guys, you know.
but
you guys
again,
know
how are you gonna fix that problem?
But the-
We need to make it back.
Overwhelmed. I see.
Of the
it all
north.
time.
You,
I can imagine of the north.
you wanna know how I would fix the problem? Cap the schools. You can cap it.
Absolutely.
You know how we fix it?
Waiting list.
I love the mega magnet. I love the concept. It was good money. Go back to boundaries. Your kids belong, your kids belong there.
You would.
HMO kids, listen,
I
all
didn't
it
mind the
did-
boundaries either.
You know,
triple.
going back to boundaries, that the schools would be affected tremendously.
Sure,
Tremendously.
sure, but you're impacting the residents, you're impacting everybody. Listen, I don't think you have the teachers, the capacity to teach all those kids that you brought in all of a sudden.
Yeah, it's a
You know,
fact.
It impacts everything. Yeah, the football team is better, you have more kids to
No, I
recruit.
agree with you,
But- but it does- it doesn't really- it
affects the
doesn't really-
budget, it affects everything.
I get it, but how is it impact the community? How is it?
I agree with you.
It's not all about the money in the budget. You know, ultimately, that's the way I see it. Again, and I know Dr. Sanchez would never agree with me, and I've had this conversation with him, listen. If I had the power, I'd cap that school at 2,400, every told me,
25.
I think that's enough things.
it is enough for a high.
So what is the
They've
official
always been
capacity
big,
of the
but I
building?
think that.
No, Goldman has capacity for about 3,600 kids.
Another thing,
But forget
another
about
thing
the
that.
student capacity.
Once it was past 36 with.
Well, we have 4,900 when we started.
4,000, I think.
The lunch times, that's
But
insane.
Goldman's always been overcrowded.
That's
No.
insane.
At one
People don't
time
have
it
enough
wasn't,
Time to have.
But then, like, there was a time.
Before Hialeah Gardens, it was right.
Right. there
And
was a
then when
time-
Hialeah Gardens came, it went under enrollment, and then because of the under
Yes.
enrollment, they did the
They did
mega.
the magnet, yes.
But so what do we do? We triple the boundary area of HML. But realistically speaking, how many kids from Royal Oak are going to HML?
Exactly.
0.
How many kids from Satori, from West Lakes are going to HML?
2.
And how many kids from the other side of 75 are going to HML?
Yeah.
They're not. And they don't have the busing for these kids.
No.
So everybody goes to Goldman, right? So those will be the natural boundaries. Now, when you add to that, all the kids, and I'm telling you, I deal with this frequently. So you have kids from North Miami Beach, American, Carroll City, it's empty. I mean, look at all these schools, HML.
Those parents driving all the way over here,
Yeah.
I gotta give them props.
Listen,
That is a lot of
I
money.
It's not like you can give them a bus either. You
That
cannot
is-
send them.
There is no doubt.
We have a parent that drives from Eureka Drive, from Eureka Drive.
Yes.
Where is that?
I've helped.
Over by the zoo.
From.
One of the kids.
Listen,
Came from the Hard Rock.
without mentioning names, this is what we need that.
It's the same as for kids.
Just for.
But even if there were buses, many people don't wanna take them, because the buses, I remember when I took bus in 3rd grade, and that was the thing I dreaded most. I get out of school at 3:30 and I don't get home till 5, it's like my whole day went to waste.
On the bus.
Yeah.
So I'm just, let me tell you a general thing. So I dealt with a kid last, okay? Kid had like 60, 70 absences, right? Kid is not showing up.
Right.
I meet with a parent. Parent is in North Miami Beach, right? Kid wants to go to North Miami, but hey, we're the mega magnet, so you want to. The mother has no real transportation, so this kid took an Uber every single
Oh
day
my God.
to go to Goldman. Imagine.
Exactly.
Now,
At that time,
No.
it's like,
when the mom was short on money, she would not send the kid to school. Now, what good are we doing to this kid who's missing 56 days? of
Exactly.
So why wouldn't he go to North
And
Miami?
just, then he needs to be
Because-
transferred
because-
out.
the mom wanted to go with a mega magnet.
But you know what, after absence,
Programs,
it's a transfer,
education.
aren't they automatically just taken out of school and put back to the other school? Because in our school, the
So
transfer
listen,
misses a certain amount of days
so at the end of the
They're-
year,
pulled out.
okay, about spring break, the region will send you a list of transfer students.
Right,
You can request a revocation, right? Now, what happens? The region has to agree with your request.
mhm,
So what's the region gonna do? They're gonna go through the records. Did you contact the parents?
mhm,
How
mhm.
many times?
Right.
You know, the whole.
Right, the whole
plan.
attendance, right.
And most schools don't do that. So,
Oh my gosh, they're
So-
on us like, what am I?
but if you don't do it,
Yeah,
it's
you
not
don't have
documented,
paperwork,
you have
yes.
nothing. to-
Right, right.
And that would be at the end of the year when you already missed everything. If it's a magnet program, it's a whole different story. It's up to the principal to revoke. But it goes back to it. Am I gonna lose 200 kids? Think about money wise, what that represents to me, 200 students. Right? So again, we'll leave it at that. That's a debate we have every year. Thank you so much. I know
No,
you guys
let's
are
bring
doing
it
a
up,
great
let's
job.
bring it up, and let's actually
I
try and become proactive and
I brought it up plenty of times.
Let's do it again. do it again.
It's been brought up about the boundary meetings as well.
No, the time for the staggered time, that's a little
I
bit
think
more,
that might be some,
that's a little more feasible,
yeah.
you know? Not the boundaries, they're just,
No.
you're gonna have school choice and let everybody go wherever.
that's-
Because charters are doing it, so they're gonna
Yeah,
have to do it if that, we're gonna be limiting our kids and.
Do keep in mind, it's gonna be interesting by 2026, I think it is. High school cannot start before 8:30 or something like that. So that's full time.
That's gonna affect you.
I think it's gonna affect the elementary.
Even elementary and high schools are all gonna start. At the same time.
So think about the traffic and that.
Because I think elementaries are gonna start now at 8,
What year is that?
At
2026.
And if we-
2020 what?
I think it's 6, and if we have no busing now, imagine when you have two central schools opening at the same time and closing at the same time.
Well, you're gonna have AI buses by then.
And that's where a lot of kids are gonna stay and do their homeschooling and do online.
Absolutely virtual.
Yeah, Musk is
Because
gonna,
parents are not gonna.
Musk
be
is
able
gonna
to-
create a school bus. Yeah.
Well, guys, any other announcements? No other
There's a
announcements?
lot.
So it's 7:49, make a motion to get the meeting.
That's it.
Alright.
All in favor?
Bye.
Thank you guys. I Wednesday.
You guys should have upset.